To set up your studio reformer with tower, we need a box cutter or something sharp to cut the tape in the boxes. We have a 3/16 Allen key that comes with your equipment, and that's for the set screws on your tower. And then a wrench that is for the bolt that holds your push-through bar in place. Hi, my name's Kayleen and I'm your Pilates mechanic. Welcome to the Balance Body Garage.
And I'm Ken. I'm the assistant Pilates mechanic. I want to welcome you to the Pilates Garage. And oh, I'm supposed to tell you that I'm also the CEO.
Yes, our fearless leader.
Yes.
And a nice guy.
Try to
right?
be. Try to be.
So today we're going to talk about setting up your new studio reformer with tower. Once your boxes are inside and they're in the room that you want to set them up in, we're going to start by unstapling the bottom of this box so that we can lift it straight off the top. Okay? So underneath here, there are some staples. You're going to get your fingers under and pull them so you hear that pop. Okay? When you're getting your fingers under here, make sure you're not dragging your fingers because that's a nasty paper cut, or you might get your fingers caught on the staple. So just be careful when you go from one to the next. All right.
You got your ends done?
I think so.
You ready?
Whew.
Okay.
There we go.
Voila. All right. You should probably cut these.
Yes, we have a box knife for that.
We've actually got tools in our drawer?
We have tools. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so let's cut this tape. So I think we should lift it and put it right here.
Lift it and tip it over the box?
Try and flip it at the same time.
Okay, so
Let's do it.
lift it and put it on here and pull it out. Okay, ready? Okay. Got it?
Yep.
It's nice to have carpet here or padding.
There we go.
Okay,
Look at that.
looks like a reformer.
Yeah. All right, let's get this box out of here.
Okay. So now that we've gotten all the little boxes out of the big box, we got the big box out of the way and out of our way, we're going to start unpacking the tower boxes, and we'll first start by putting together the tower, and then we'll put together the rest of the reformer, and then we'll drop the drop-in pads onto the reformer when we finish that part.
Sounds like a plan.
Like that plan?
Yeah, let's see what's in here.
What's in this box? It's a little bit like Christmas.
I know, it's like unwrapping a present.
Holy cow, what fell out of there?
All right, two things. So before you throw anything away, make sure that there's nothing hidden inside of it. So we have to make sure that we get all the parts. So here's our roll down bar. Why don't you put that over there?
Roll down bar.
Here's our wrench and the bolts for the push-through bar.
Don't want to lose this.
No, very important.
Okay.
And then we have our top tower piece.
Perfect.
I love it.
Nice. Beautiful.
And then our push-through bar.
Push-through bar.
Look at
Nice.
that.
Very cool. We'll put that here.
So I think that's everything out of this box.
Okay.
So now we'll take the vertical poles out. Ooh, look at that. All right. So these are your tower poles. To install your tower poles, we're going to need a 3/16 Allen wrench. So that is somewhere else in our packaging.
Pop these bad boys off.
There we go. All right. So now we got to find a little wrench.
Yes.
It's somewhere.
So that's,
Might be, I bet the shoulder rests are in that box over there. So when you're using a knife and you're digging into all your cool new packages, you want to be careful not to go too deep with the blade in case there's any upholstery or vinyl underneath the top layer of boxes, because you don't want to cut that.
good tip.
Knife is really sharp. All right, so I'm seeing a bunch of stuff that we're going to need later, but what we're looking for are some tools. And that looks like a 3/16 Allen wrench.
Let's get it out of the bag and show what it looks like.
Awesome, I think that's it.
Also
So-
known as a hex key, right?
Also known as a hex key.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. Get rid of this bad boy?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to move over to the end of the reformer now.
And this box we'll deal with later.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're ready to get the poles on the tower bracket. So the first step is to remove this masking tape that's here so that in transit, these little set screws don't fall out. Okay. Once you do that, this is where you need the little 3/16 Allen wrench we dug out. This fits in your set screws, okay? And we're going to have to back out the set screws so that if you look down the tube, there's no screw protruding in the tube here. That makes room for our tower poles to go smoothly in. You doing okay over there, Ken?
Oh, you know, I'm having a tough time trying to do this without looking at it, but I think I just got it, and I think we're just perfectly good.
All right.
I'm good.
Well, I'm going to check these these set screws over here. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Okay, so these are all ready. Now, we take our first pole. It's going to slide all the way in to the bottom. And this, make sure that you align the knobs, these black knobs, to the outside of the frame. Okay? All right. There we go. Now we're not going to tighten the set screws quite yet. We can go ahead and put the top piece on. And when you put this on, I want you to align it so that this little loop on the safety strap faces the reformer. Okay. Thank you, Ken. There we go. All right. So now we're ready for our push-through bar. So we'll grab the push-through bar and our little baggie with the wrench and the bolts. Okay. So Ken's going to hold the push-through bar up in between these two sliders. Now it's really important to make sure that both of the sliders are on the same hole. So right now you can see there's one hole showing above each of these sliders. Otherwise they'll be crooked and the push-through bar won't fit. Okay? So now we take our little bolt and from the inside we tighten it into the slider. I like to go as far as you can with just finger tightness and then use the wrench at the end. Ken, you want to do that one?
Sure. Starts pretty easy and then it gets kind
Yeah.
of stiff, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Now I'm ready for the wrench.
So now we're ready for the wrench. We're going to put it on and twist to the right It doesn't need to be super tight, but make sure it's snug.
Oops. Oh, mine went farther. Oh, there it goes.
There we go. All right. Sounds good. Now we are ready to tighten the set screws to cinch this frame down. So the important thing is that your push-through bar can swing freely here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Swing freely, and it doesn't get stuck somewhere mid-swing. So that tells me that the alignment of the tower is good. And you want to check that as we go through and we're tightening the set screws. Okay, so we can start at the bottom and tighten these screws.
Feels pretty good to me.
All right, Ken, you want to do that side?
Sure. Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey, you got it.
All right. And again, I'm doing this without looking at it.
It's showing your master skills there, Ken.
I left some tape on there. It's pretty uncraftsmanlike.
We'll get it later.
All right.
All right, so now we've got the bottom set screws tight. Our push-through bar swings pretty well. We're going to tighten our set screws at the top here. Okay.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Okay, let's talk about how to adjust the height of the push-through bar. Using your hands, let's pull the black knobs out, and then you can slide the bar up or down, okay? And you're going to slide it until it clicks into place on both sides, okay? Now we can slide it down as well, and it clicks in, okay? Make sure that both of the knobs are secured before you start to load the push-through bar. Okay, I think we're ready to put some springs on. Ken, let's get this carriage out of here.
I'm ready, Kayleen. I get the box.
All right, I'm gonna tug it out here. Here she comes. All right.
Oh, that's a nice looking carriage.
So pretty and new.
Now I get this out of the way.
All right,
And there's nothing in there.
good.
Okay.
All right, will you help me put this across the frame?
Absolutely. Head in, back.
I'll walk around the other side,
Okay, great.
and then we'll just flip it.
Ready to roll. Gently on the frame.
Yep.
Upside down.
All right, let's get those springs on here.
Excellent.
Yeah, go for
Got
it.
the blade?
Blade's right over here on the floor.
All right. I got
Leaving
the
things
blade.
everywhere.
All right.
When we put the springs on under the carriage, it's important to align the spring hooks correctly. So you'll see that the hook is opening upwards when the carriage is upside down. If the springs are hooked the other way, they'll just fall off onto the floor. Okay? All right, Ken, let's
Ready to
put her in.
Flip this bad dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's hook the carriage up to the spring bar. Do you have a knife, Ken?
I got a knife, and my mom would be happy that I'm not using it.
All right, so let's carefully cut the plastic off of the foot bar, and we'll swing it up. Now the foot bar support has these two plastic slide locks on it. You want to slide the slide locks inward. Put the support bar in the support, and then you slide the slide locks out to secure it. Okay. All right, Ken, I'm going to hand you the risers.
Excellent.
Okay, here's a knife.
I don't need a knife this
Oh,
time.
nice.
Nice.
All right, and I've got the shoulder rests here, okay? So when you cut this open, again, be very careful about cutting the upholstery. Okay. All right. Okay, so with the shoulder rests, we've got two, what are these called again? Twist lock.
The twist lock, yes.
Twist locks, okay? And these are going to slide right on the end of the bolt. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And that's, so right now the shoulder rest rattles. We tighten these down, no more rattle, okay? So the cool thing about these shoulder rests are right now they're set up in a pretty normal position. You can see that the aluminum sides are flush. If we were to take these off and switch positions, now we've created a little bit wider distance for the neck and shoulders. So that's often really nice for my bigger or taller clients when they're doing things like footwork or supine arms. Okay. How about those risers, Ken?
Got the risers? Risers are really simple. They fit in these holes. There's this pin right here. The only secret is to figure out what height you want it, stick the pin all the way in, and they're locked. I'll do the second one here. Easy. I'm going to make sure they're the same height so my Pilates instructor won't yell at me. They're in and they're ready to go.
All right, let's get these ropes out.
Okay. Oh, you got the ropes.
I got the ropes.
Perfect.
So we're going to go ahead and set up with the loops as well. Okay, so we'll take these out, and Ken will take the non-hooked side of those ropes. All right, let's get them a little untangled here.
Untangled.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. And Ken, you can go ahead and put them through the cam cleats.
All right, so I'm going to stick it underneath this eye. I'm going to put it through the cam cleat just by pushing it down and through the other one. And then once it's in there, I put it a tug, but we're not going to make the final adjustment just yet.
All right, so on either end of these clips, we put the loops. We're going to slide those loops around the shoulder rests. Okay, and Ken can put that other rope in there.
Through the eye strap, push into the cleat, through the other eye strap, and then we're going to adjust it in a minute.
All right, so when we're setting up the length of the ropes, one of the common ways to do it is to put the loop around the shoulder rest and then pull the end of the rope until it's fairly taut here. Okay, so I'm going to try and match the drape of the ropes on either side here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And then once you find your right length, give the rope a little tug to make sure it's seated well in the cam cleats. We're going to put the foot strap on, but before we do that, let's make some room by moving the Revo spring bar. To move it, you want to have at least one spring on. Right now we have two attached. Grab under this little handle here, pull it up, and then slide until it clicks. So you should feel, it should kind of click into place, and then you push the handle back down. Okay?
Then the next step is a foot strap, and the foot strap has these little tiny dog tip ends on them. This is the business end, as Kathy Grant used to call it. And she used to always say to put the business end away from your foot or in the area that doesn't get the most use. So you hook them up so the snaps face the outside.
All right, let's move this on back and move on.
Move on. I get it.
You like that one, huh?
Yes.
All right, let's get these springs on the tower.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the yellow ones, the long yellows.
2 long yellows.
Thank you. And the purples.
Coming up, 2 purps.
Oh, we can go short yellows after that. All right. Roll down bar here. Slide that on. All right. I'm going to put one of these up here and one at the bottom. Are there any handles and loops in there, Ken?
What would you like first, handles or loops?
Oh, what a choice. Surprise me. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And before I throw this box away,
Oh, we got some more
What's this?
goodies in there. All right, so this looks like a carriage stopper. Okay, so this can go in the rail. So this looks like the carriage stopper, and you can put this in the rail. It slides right into any of these holes, and what that does is it limits the travel of the carriage for certain exercises. We also have a DVD and the owner's manual. Don't want to lose this. Great reference for later on down the road.
and our box is empty.
Oh, all right. Let's find another box to unpack.
Excellent.
All right. So our sitting box is in here. And again, with the knife, we got to be careful we don't stick the blade in too far and cut the sitting box upholstery.
I like to lift the box up.
It's very smart.
To be doubly sure here.
Look at that. Okay.
You want the nice box or the carton box?
I want the nice box,
You
Ken.
grab the nice box, I'll take care of the packaging.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, okay.
All right. So we got our sitting box all ready for use. Yeah, let's pull the mats out. Okay.
Okay.
So, where are you going?
We're gonna go to this, actually in the front, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess I'll leave this here.
Will you grab the knife? Okay, you slice, I'll hold.
There we go. Look at that. I'll get the box. You pull one of those mats
Okay.
out. All right.
Here's one.
There's one.
That one's got flaps on it.
Hey.
Okay,
All right.
and I'll put this one over here.
Okay. So I want to talk about how we convert the reformer into a tower. It does matter which mat you put where. So let's talk about that first. Your mat that has the two vinyl flaps here on the bottom goes towards the head end. For shipping purposes, the vinyl flaps are flipped inward, so we're going to go ahead and flip them to face the other direction. This way, we can use them to protect the upholstery of the mat when we're using bottom sprung push-through bar. All right, so to prepare the carriage, we need to take the ropes or the loops off of the shoulder rests, unhook the springs, good, and we can slide the carriage all the way to the head end, okay? Oh, I've got the carriage stopper in here still. So we'll take that out. Now, the same way we installed our twist lock shoulder rests, we're going to loosen them They don't have to come all the way off. You're just going to loosen them, slide them forward, and lift them out. Okay? Now, with your risers, we're going to take the pin out and slide the risers all the way down. Okay? The risers don't have to come out. They can just slide down, even though they're a little bit proud of the top. The mats will fit over the top of this. Okay? All right. So with the carriage all the way up here, let's flip that foot bar down so it's inside the frame. So now we're ready to put on our two mats. Okay, so the vinyl flaps are going to go here to the head end. Okay. And once this gets in there, I want you to make sure it sits flat. Okay. These vinyl flaps will flip up during bottom-loaded push-through bar exercises so that they protect the mat vinyl from the spring and the spring hooks. Now, the mat that goes at the foot end, you'll notice that one end of the feet have a little space between the edge and the others don't. This little space goes over the standing platform. So that's how you know this is the foot end mat. Okay? Look at that. All right. We're ready for a tower workout.
Ta-da!
Hey! If you want to learn more about your balanced body equipment, you can go to pilates.com/bbgarage for more videos like this one. See you next time.